It may seem as though the regular season has just begun, but the trade deadline is already less than 2 months away, which means every team across the NBA will need to commit one way or another to either going all in and chasing a title, or blowing it up to play capture the flag. One of the teams that has already made their decisions and is in blow it up mode for the past couple of years are the Portland Trail Blazers. Ever since Damian Lillard had his wish granted and was traded away for future assets back in the summer of 2023, Portland has seen a wide variety of young players try out to be members of their future team when they eventually decide to go all in again. One of the players they brought in was a 25-year-old former #1 overall pick back in 2018, Deandre Ayton. Ayton's career up to that point had looked very promising. With the Phoenix Suns, he showed he was an excellent scorer within the half-court set, especially around the rim, and he could even space the floor out to the mid-range reliably. He also was one of the league's best rebounders, averaging double digits in that category every year in the league. And on defense, his strength, size, and athleticism were great. When Phoenix made their finals run in 2021, Ayton was a double-double machine, averaged over a block a game, and had a defensive rating of 109, which ranked him in the 90th percentile of the NBA. After this deep playoff run, though, Phoenix refused to offer him the maximum salary extension he was eligible to receive, which may have made sense for the team, but it greatly frustrated the big man and led to a profound dip in effort on the court. On offense, he became a lazy black hole, only looking to do whatever it took to get his numbers. He floated around, ball watched, set lazy screens, stopped rolling to the rim, and stopped crashing the glass nearly as hard as he used to. He also started chucking more and more longer twos in order to maintain his stats without having to do the more difficult work around the rim. A 20% decrease in shots within 3 feet was very concerning, and it resulted in his effective field goal rate dropping by 5%. His shot selection also did not lead to free throws, as he never averaged more than 3 tries a game. Nowadays, that number has dipped to only 1 per game, which ranks him 5th from the bottom in per 100 possessions in the NBA amongst centers. His defensive effort also fell off a cliff, leading to an increase in his defensive rating up to 114, and a fall off in blocks as he's now under 1. Of course, he went from a team he hated to one that wasn't any good. So perhaps if he were put in an environment where both he genuinely cared about winning and he feels as though he is getting enough well-earned respect, he very well could return to his old self and become a borderline all-star caliber big man inside again. A guy you can put on some of the best centers in the league, someone who can give consistent, efficient points around the rim, and someone who can gobble up rebounds to both avoid surrendering second chances to the opponent while also giving your team some extra points. Ayton has been and could once again be a great player, and there are definitely teams around the NBA right now who would love to add him to their roster. He is still only 26 years old. He isn't breaking the bank at $34 million, I know that is a lot, but it's not too much, and he only has 1 more year under contract beyond this one. And the Portland team's payroll is below the apron, so there's no shenanigans there. He is going to be one of the most desirable and easily attainable players this upcoming trade deadline season. So today I wanted to break down 3 of the most likely trades involving dominating we could see. Before we get started, please like the video as it helps me out a lot more than I think you guys realize, and subscribe for more basketball content. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers every single hour, so let's make that happen. When you think of a contending team that is desperately looking for a starting center, you probably immediately think of the LA Lakers. In my theoretical trade, we have Ayton going to LA in exchange for D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and Max Christie, plus whatever combination of most likely second-round draft picks Portland can squeeze out of them. Every team that has ever had Anthony Davis has been in a perpetual state of searching for a 5 to play alongside him so he can log fewer minutes inside with the Bruisers. Ayton can fill this role. LA currently ranks 3rd to last in the league in rebounding and surrenders the 10th most offensive boards per 100 possessions. DA alongside AD would greatly improve these numbers. Plus, the two of them on defense will give opponents nightmares, as they can both move their feet out to the perimeter very well and are tall and strong enough to deal with some of the league's biggest and best players. Also, if LeBron decides to retire this upcoming summer or the next, Ayton's deal will be near the end, so they could hopefully flip him for more picks if they need to abandon ship. The three leaving LA also would not be missed. D'Angelo Russell has spent his entire career in trade conversations. Ever since returning to LA, he has bounced back and forth between starting and finishing games to being a backup. With the rise of Austin Reeves as a playmaker and Dalton Knecht as a shooter, it has made Russell unquestionably a downgrade in the first five. Of course, seeing him leave will mean they lose a backup scoring lead ball handler, but I feel as though they have the pieces already on their roster to offset the playmaking, and Ayton would obviously fill in the scoring role. If you're Portland, you view this deal as both salary relief because the biggest contract coming back to you would be expiring next year, and you at the very least snag a 21-year-old in Christie who has shown flashes of shooting and defensive ability, even if he hasn't been very good this year. Any future picks they also walk away with will be valuable for obvious reasons. And they don't need to worry about replacing Ayton with another 5, because they already have Donovan Clingan, who better fits their timeline anyways. I believe this deal makes everyone happy and will be one of the more talked about trade hypotheticals you will see the next couple of months. But it is not the only trade possibility. Another option would be Ayton going to the Charlotte Hornets, a team that just can't get out of the cellar of the league. Charlotte has one of the best point guards in the game in LaMelo Ball, plus a terrific young shot creator in Brandon Miller, and a cast of solid wings. Yet they currently sit 10 games under 500 in the Eastern Conference. Their biggest need is a reliable center, and I know they have Mark Williams and Nick Richards who have looked pretty good in the little bits they've played, but injuries have derailed those two severely. They should not tank another year while LaMelo is actually healthy. In this deal, I have Ayton going to Charlotte in exchange for Grant Williams, Cody Martin, Tajon Salon, and a future first-round pick. Ayton would be the best 5 in Charlotte since Dwight Howard many years ago. He will catch lobs from LaMelo, punish opposing bigs inside, and will obviously rebound and defend at a rate they desperately need. Charlotte currently relies way too heavily on perimeter shooting due to their hole in the middle. They average the 3rd longest attempts in the entire NBA and rank dead last in 2-point shooting percentage at 49, when every other team is over 50. They would be a playoff team right now if they pull the trigger on this deal, and their young guys desperately need this playoff experience to grow. For Portland, the player haul may seem underwhelming, and that's because it is. Grant Williams is currently hurt, he's not going to play this year, but he earns less money than Ayton, although he does have an extra year on his deal. Cody Martin is literally just salary filler, forget about him, but at least they get Salon, who has a high ceiling on what he can become. He is only 19 years old and was just drafted in the lottery. He has the physical tools, and it seems like the IQ to be a very good player. They may need him just in case Shaedon Sharpe down the line continues to struggle with injuries. The draft pick they get will also be a very nice bargaining chip for the coming years as they eventually decide to build a win-now team 2 to 4 years down the line. I believe if the Laker deal doesn't happen, Portland would greatly appreciate this one. And for my final deal, another longtime bottom feeder of the East that surely wants to weasel their way into the postseason are the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham is playing like an all-star, and a few other young guys on their roster appear to be breaking out as well. They currently are just outside the play-in looking in, so a small win-now addition like Ayton may be exactly what they need. In this deal, I have Ayton going to Detroit in exchange for Tim Hardaway Jr., Paul Reed, and a future first-round pick. You may be sitting there puzzled by my suggesting Detroit add Ayton when they already have Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart on their team, who Pistons fans have been hyping up for the past year. But in the 2025 season, it appears Duren has hit a plateau with what he is capable of. He is an undersized rim roller and rebounder. Duren is a good player, don't get me wrong. He is boasting a net rating of plus 12 for a reason. He is very strong, he rebounds pretty well, and he's a good finisher around the rim. But the fact of the matter is, Ayton has the physical tools and has shown he can be a better player, hands down. I understand how having too many centers can cause internal drama, but as a team trying to win, you need to make the best decisions for your team and let them sort it out by earning court time through quality play. The best 2 of the 3 will earn the most minutes and be the 2 they keep in the long term. For Portland, the 2 players going out in this deal are basically both expiring deals. Tim Hardaway Jr. is on a 1-year contract and Paul Reed's 2nd year is not fully guaranteed. So they essentially are just getting draft picks in exchange. This may sound underwhelming, but remember, I am both hyping up Ayton as well as trying to be blunt about him. He is the best 5 on the market, but he is very far from a perfect player, and it all has to do with what's between his ears. I think they would accept this deal if it's the only one they get. So there you have it, 3 potential Deandre Ayton trades that I could think of. Usually I like to try to get these videos to 5, but unfortunately, I'm really having a hard time finding 5. With trade rules, with the apron becoming extra confusing and extra constricting, there just is not as many moves we can make compared to years past. But still, I think these 3 are worth talking about. Please comment your thoughts on the deals I have and let me know any other ones you can think of. Like the video if you have not already, subscribe for more basketball related content. I am very thankful for the recent boost I've been getting on this channel. I've got a lot of people watching and it really does make me happy to see new comments and people engaging down below. I recently hit 3,000 subscribers and that's pretty exciting. So thank you guys, and I hope to keep making good videos for you that makes you want to keep coming back. I'll see you all next time.